What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, fam? What's going on? Yeah, I know I missed y'all. I did. I missed each and every one of you. Missed each and every one of you. But if you've been following me long enough, you would have known that it was baseball season. And this time of year is tournament season. So that's what we've been doing. Been from Wisconsin to Coon Rapids to baseball. My grandson plays baseball, and we are a baseball family, and that's just what we do. So that's why I have not been on. I have not even tried to even come down here because it's tournament time, and if you're a family that travels with your son or grandson during this time, is you know what I'm talking about, man. Anyway, how you doing, fam? How's it going? I'm just telling you, I missed y'all. I missed you. Yes, I did. So I just want to throw that out there before we get started tonight. And I find myself back in trouble again, like I am now. You know, because 99.9% of the time, right? You better believe that I'm going to tell the truth about something, right? I'm not here to mess around. I'm not here to give you this or give you that and only give you half of it. You get the whole thing. And some people like it and some people don't. I took a break just in time because, so I had a stalker. I still have a stalker. And I haven't seen him in a while, but I was threatened. So I can tell you all that now. This was before the situation happened with, God rest her soul, her family, and I hope that God touches her family who are left, and He soothe their hearts. But I didn't go through something like that, but I did have a few people on here that was basically stalking me, and I don't take that. See, there's some people that when certain things don't happen to them, they don't understand, right? So I get a phone call from somebody, and it was getting on me about blocking people. And like I say, I only block people when you get personal or racist. Those are the only ways you ever, people, well, he blocked me because, I disagree with him. I love when people, please disagree with me, because I love to have those conversations. Because 99.9% of the times, we're about that far off of each other at the end when we realize we started this far. But I don't block nobody because they disagree with me. I've never done that. But when you become threatening, like I told you guys before, dude says, well, they could sue you. I don't care. I would rather get sued than worry about me walking around and I got somebody stalking me. I'm just not going to do it. It's just, no. It's the internet, people. I'm like, are we seriously? This is what we do with the internet. Not going to happen. I got too much. I got a granddaughter now, 2 grandsons. I got my kids. I got my wife. We live in our best life. Like I said, just went over to Wisconsin. So we go to Wisconsin and Menominee, or whatever you call it. And but we took my grandson. So we went over early because we wanted him to go through that. If you ever did any traveling sports, you will understand what I'm about to say, right? If your kid traveled to go to like a different state to play games and things like that, you'll understand what I'm about to say. So we didn't have to go over early because it's only a 2-hour drive, right? From here over to where they played the tournament for the weekend. It's only a 2-hour drive. We could have went over that day. We could have left because they didn't play until like 10 o'clock, right? We could have went over Saturday. But because all of the other kids and everybody was going over on Friday and, staying with the swim, the kids have to swim. The whole team have to go out to a restaurant for, to eat and things like that. So y'all understand what I'm talking about. But we get over there to this hotel, and it's a Super 8, and it's in Menominee and Menominee, or however you pronounce the name of this place. Probably the dirtiest, nastiest place. I'm like, oh my God. I'm shocked that they booked these rooms. I understand that the park was literally, to the ballpark, I could have walked to the ballpark. And I get why they booked these, because what the baseball team does is they book a lot these rooms. They get a lot of rooms, and they book them. And so I understand that. But I don't think anybody ever stayed in this hotel who understood what we was getting ourselves into. It was bad. I've stayed in many hotels. Like I said, I've traveled everywhere in the United States, and we've stayed in rooms and hotel rooms. We've stayed everywhere. But this place, it's a Super 8, right off 94 in Menominee or Menominee, whatever it is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was bad. It was really bad. But anyway, that's what I've been doing. We've been traveling with my grandson. With his, like I say, he's on a little league team, then he's on the traveling team, and now he's on the all-star team. But for the traveling team, that's what we've been doing. So that's why I took a break from here, and I took a break from, I was gone from Twitter for a couple of days because my wife looked at the situation and said, you need to shut it down for a couple of days. Because, like I said, I had a stalker. Seriously. To the point to where I was threatened. And I done nothing to nobody. I did. Only thing I did was I blocked somebody, and the dude went berserk. I'm not going to say who he is. I'm not going to give him the time of day. But that's pretty much what happened. So I went off Twitter for a couple of days, as you guys can see. That's what people was like, hey, Rev, we haven't seen you for a couple of days. What's going on? I just needed to leave Twitter alone because Twitter is a bad place. It is, point blank. We can say what ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, it is the devil's playground. Let's call it what it is, and y'all know I'm right. Ever since when I first before Elon Musk got on Twitter, Twitter wasn't like this. It wasn't. You couldn't threaten people's lives on Twitter before Elon got it. Now Elon is going. And I don't take that stuff for granted. I don't just sit back and go, oh, this is just Twitter. They're just playing. No, I don't. Maybe you do, but I don't. Because see, here in Minnesota, I can be defending myself, and I'm going to jail. I've got to give a ill-hearted person an opportunity. I have to give them the opportunity to take my life before I can defend myself here in Minnesota. True story. That's what we have to do in Minnesota. But yet a bum, thug, thief, criminal has more rights to defend himself from me. Anyway. So I had to walk away from Twitter for a little bit because, like I said, it is the devil's playground. It really is. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Like I said, Elon Musk, what he did to Twitter is just foul in every way, shape, or form. Y'all know it, and you know I'm right. I'm going to get in trouble for saying that, I'm sure. I got in trouble earlier today. That's why I'm late. I was supposed to be here at 7, but my phone blew up after, I guess, Care 11 and everybody, Channel 4, and everybody I was on the news today. And after I guess they ran the segment that I was on today, my phone blew up. Everybody was calling. Hey, Rev, I saw you on the news. Hey, Rev, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right, cool. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. So my phone been blowing up. I was late getting down here. To talk about what we're going to talk about for a little bit here. Not going to be long. I got about 30 minutes, and then I'm going to let you go. Period. Because I can do this in about 30 minutes. So we don't know, right now, I mean, things are just so sketchy right now, it's not even funny. So we had a 11-year-old boy shot and killed yesterday. And there's no word. I mean, this is the oddest thing ever because there's no word on what happened. Why? Only thing everybody knows is somebody was driving a car or SUV through the park, not on the road, on the grass. And shots rang out, and a little boy was shot in the head. And this little boy died. He was 11 years old. And so there was a press conference that was called today, right? And I'm going through some stuff on Facebook right now, which to me is funny as all get up. Because some people are upset that they were not invited to the press conference that happened today. Yeah, this is how stupid the community that I deal with. That people are upset that they wasn't invited to the. This is why we have kids dying in the streets. Because we can't do a damn. Listen, I may get to the point tonight. Because on my way home, I was at that point that I said a few words. So I may get to that point tonight that I may say a few words, but y'all just gonna have to let me go tonight. I don't need you pointing a finger at me. I don't need. If you're president, hold on now. I don't care. Say what you want. If you're president, y'all then leave me alone. Don't say a word to me. But I may say a few words tonight because that one was just about to come out. Not the one like your president used, but it was going to be close. But I'm just giving you warning right now. Not tonight. Not after everything I've been through. Not tonight. I'm not hearing it. So let me say it this way. If you don't want to hear my words or what I got to say, click off right now. I'll give you time to leave. I'm giving you fair warning. Fair warning. You don't want to hear my words? Go ahead and click off right now. We're good. I won't be mad at you. I'll come back on Friday. You can come back on Friday and get the clean version. But the little boy shot in the head. He died. What happened, so he got shot in the head at Fairview Park. Farewell Park, and he ran all the way over. He was able to run all the way over to Penn. And then someone saw this kid, put the kid in the car. When they realized that they were not going to make it to the hospital, they got him out. The police and everybody started doing. They waved down the police. Police got him out of the car. Started doing CPR. Realized this kid wasn't going to make it. He died there on the side of the road. 11-year-old kid. In my understanding, and I'm just going to put this out there because they were saying he didn't do anything. He wasn't selling drugs. He didn't have a gun on him. He didn't have drugs on him or anything. He wasn't doing anything. He just happened to be in the park. And this is why I always tell people, you got that dude, Mike Norton, who rides the bikes, and he likes to film just the really nice parts of Minneapolis. And he tells you that Minneapolis, how safe Minneapolis is. No, that guy. Minneapolis isn't as safe as they keep trying to tell y'all. And I've told y'all this. I don't beat around the bush. Because, see, as long as you stay in Mike Norton's neighborhood, as long as you ride and you hang out in the areas Mike is in, then yeah, you can say Minneapolis is the safest place that you ever want to be. Because Mike knows where to ride. Mike knows where to go. This kid was in a park in North Minneapolis, Fairview Park. Usually I would say you can go in that park if you want. But when you go driving in the parking lot of this park, you're going to sit there and go, well, why are all of these logs, all of these timber logs, huge timber logs, all around the field? The city, this is how stupid the city is. I should have took a picture for you so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about so you guys can understand. So what people were doing was literally while people are doing football practice, soccer practice, baseball practice, whatever practice they had, but knuckleheads would drive their cars through the field. So instead of the city going, I'm going to arrest you for doing that, you're going to jail for endangerment. Instead of the city doing that, this is what the city decided to do. They decided to go cut down trees. True story, go look at it for yourself. I wouldn't tell you something that I can't prove. So what the city did was they went and cut down trees and put these big logs all around the field. I'm talking about a big field, all around the field so you can't drive your car. They put listen to me, people. This is how ignorant they are in Minneapolis. They put the logs all around the field. So now you can't drive your car up there. Instead of just arresting people, putting their ass in jail where they should be. This is it's one of those situations, you know how you're driving down the road and all of a sudden you see this sign that says bump. Instead of fixing the bump, they put up a sign. You know how they do that. This is Minneapolis. Instead of fixing it, arresting the people who are driving on the field, endangering people, they put these logs around. So this park has always been trouble. There's in North Minneapolis, there's two parks, a Fairview Park and Farwell Park, where trouble is always gone. Oh, you can post a police officer there to stop some of the, but I wouldn't want them to do that because that would solve some of the problems that's going on in those areas. But this kid is playing at the park. for some reason, Bonehead decides to shoot. They don't know what this person was shooting at. Shoot and killed this kid. Now, this is the last killing we had of a kid was at Boom Island. Now, the girl that was shot and killed, do believe her funeral is supposed to be Friday. They finally going to lay her to rest. So we have a news conference today. Everybody show up, your normal Fox News, KARE 11, everybody was there. All of them was there. I was like, wow, holy smoke. But we called this so we can get the community together and start really talking about doing something. So if you get a chance to go to KARE 11 or Fox or whatever, you see what I said. I posted it on my Get Up. You can hear my words. You can hear exactly what I said to the community, to the people. And I made clear that, again, that I said that the people at the Capitol don't give a damn. Don't care. That 11-year-old boy is not even a blink in their eye that this boy is dead. They don't give a flying damn. They don't. And I'm talking on both sides. The Republicans could give a flying damn because it's not their district. The people over there don't look like them. Those people are not important. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. And I dare somebody to come over here and prove me wrong in what I just said. I dare you to do that because I got a few things to say to you. The Democrats don't give a damn because the Democrats know that the people over there are going to keep voting the way that they're. It doesn't matter that they don't worry about these people dying. Doesn't matter. The people who are bringing these guns and these bonehead 2A people who are seriously getting on my nerves. Ain't nobody trying to take your gun, but you know what you can do? You can speak up a little bit because half of y'all ass know the people who are bringing these guns into this community. You always talk about this is the thing that cracks me up about the gun people, right? The gun people. No, I'm pissed at everybody tonight. Everybody gets some. Because the very gun people who fight up there at that Capitol right now to make sure you can keep your guns ain't said a damn word. But the minute someone talking about coming out with different type of laws to make sure that hold on, watch this. So anytime I say something about guns, you know the first thing people say? Oh, Rev, no. You know how many guns have been stolen out of cars? Listen to yourselves. They're so quick to try to knock somebody down when we're talking about guns. They don't listen to themselves. They sit there and say, well, all these guns that are on the streets are guns that have been stolen out of cars. Oh my, you're ignorant. Okay, then why don't we do this here? If all of those guns that are on the streets shooting people are stolen out of cars, I want to know whose gun that is. How did they get stolen out of that car? Did you report it? Did you report? Because apparently you didn't. Because a lot of times when they find these here guns and they do trace it, they can't trace it back to nobody. So why don't we do that? So if that's the deal, if they're stealing so many guns out of these cars, register your gun. If you can't, if those are the guns that are shooting and killing black kids in the streets, I want your guns registered. How's that? If they're stealing them out of the cars, like you said, no. That's what you said. What I said was what I've been told. What I've been told is they coming in here selling guns to kids. But every time I say that, what I'm being told, when I tell you what I've been told, you tell me that's not happening. You tell me that the guns are being taken out of cars, break-ins of cars. That's what you tell me. That's what you told me yesterday. When I said we need to find these people who are selling these guns, because this is what you can do. Let me show you what you can do. You can go buy a gun somewhere in another state. You pay $500 for that gun. That $500 gun will go for $1,000 down in North Minneapolis. And you're going to sit here and tell me, and you can sell that gun for $1,000, knowing more than likely if that gun ends up in a crime, it's not going to be found out. And if that gun ends up in a crime, more than likely you're going to get a slap on the hand. So I get 5 guns. I go down there and sell them for $1,000. But no, that's not happening. Even though I've got this dude sitting here going, yeah, man, I just bought this. Dude pulled up. I gave him $1,000. I'm looking at the gun going, dude, you can buy that thing for $500. But it's $1,000 down here. But you said that all these guns that are found on the street was stolen out of cars during break-ins. If that's the deal, you need to register. We need gun registration today. Today. I know how to make sure these guns are staying off the streets. Register your guns. I want a bill today that says I want every gun in the state of Minnesota registered. How is that? Because those guns are the very guns that are killing black kids right now. I want them registered. Let's do that. Let's do that. Everybody needs to register their gun. You wouldn't like that, would you? No, you wouldn't. You fight me tooth and nail. I'll be the worst person in the state of Minnesota. I know that. But the very guns that you're talking about are killing black kids. But I'm the worst person in the state of Minnesota because I want to make sure that those guns that you're talking about are not killing kids. But the guns that I'm talking about, I want the police on them right now. The guns I'm talking about, if you're found selling guns to people in the black community, I want you in jail for 10 years. We start at 10 years. That's what I want. Period, point blank. If you're found buying guns and you're a felon, I want you in jail for 10 years. Oh, we're going to put a stop to this one way or another. But see, the problem is people don't want to get serious about this. They don't. They don't. You won't hear Tim Walz speak out about this little black kid who died in the middle of the street, who bled out in the middle of the street. You won't hear Peggy Fleming saying one word about any of these kids. You won't. You won't even hear. I've yet to hear the city council member who represents that area over there. I haven't heard Bobby Champion say one word about this baby being shot over there. Haven't heard anything. And now I've got people calling me up because of what I said. And then I've got people on Facebook upset because they wasn't invited. It wasn't my press. They called me up and say, Rev, we need you to come speak at this press conference. It wasn't my press conference. It wasn't my press conference to invite people to. But you're mad at me. Only thing I did was speak. I go where I'm asked. You ask me to come, I will show up. I have no problem with that. But to sit here and fight me, call me names, get mad at me because A, what I said, which I knew that was going to happen, but I wasn't about to sugarcoat the situation. And B, because I didn't invite you. I wasn't my invite. It wasn't my press conference. I didn't call it. I didn't say who can and who cannot come. So I don't want people up, pissed off, and mad at me. Not today, not tomorrow. Leave me alone. But the sad part about this whole situation that I found out, which I really, this little boy was the third oldest. He's 11 years old. I want y'all to think about what I'm about to say. He was the third oldest. He's 11 years old of 9 kids. That's what I found out. Nine kids. He's 11 years old and he's the third oldest. And then I find out that the father of these kids died over in St. Paul. Yeah. We have problems in our community. And until we actually start doing what's right for these kids. But here's the thing. I was talking my friend of mine, Marco. He's got his handle as Marco Free Dexter Taylor Oliver. Sent me a DM. And one of the things in the DM he was talking about was just how brash these kids are. And he was saying how it's hard, and I've said this. He reminded me of this. How hard it is to deal with these kids these days out on the streets, because there's times when it's 2:00 in the morning. I'm on Broadway, on the corner of Broadway and Penn, telling these kids to go home, and these kids are giving me the whataboutisms about yourself, old man, and what you need to do with yourself and where I need to go. I've had it to where I've literally have kids go get their parents, and their parents have come out and told me where to go. We have a problem in our community. And just like he was saying in his DM to me, how if dealing with these kids are that way, how then do we move forward in the community? And he's right. We have to get into the home. And this is what I've been saying, Mark. we've got the problem we have now is we pick these kids up, right? And we take the very troubled kid and sit that troubled kid right back into the trouble that he just walked. He left his house because it's trouble. And he's outside causing trouble. And we take him and put him back in. We have to get to the point now that we're dealing with the inside of the house. No longer can we do the outside. See, I've got to be on board with this mother that if I tell the kid to go home, the mother is going to say, did Rev tell you to come home? And if he told you to come home, you need to be. That's what I need the mother to say. I don't need the mother to come out and tell me that I can kiss every part of her from her head to her toes. And I need to shut up and leave her kid alone, who is 13 years old, outside at 2 a.m. in the morning on a school night. I need her to be on board with me when I'm dealing with her kid. But every now and then we're going to run into those who's going to tell us to leave their kid alone. I have no right in talking to, saying anything, or being around her kid. But it's 2 a.m. in the morning. That's a 13-year-old kid, and he's outside on a school night. Who's in the wrong? Who's in the wrong? That's what we're dealing with in the community. We're no longer a village. I mean, if I was down the street and the street lights came on, I was running as hard as I could to get home. Because I know every second that I was gone after that was a ass whooping. I was afraid to be outside my yard when the street lights came on. These kids are not afraid of anything anymore. Nothing scares these kids. They don't have an ounce of being afraid of anything anymore. Whether it's parents, whether it's elder on the streets, whether it's the police, whether it's the SWAT team, whether it's G.I. Joe, whether it's Godzilla, whether it's King Kong, these kids, they don't have the fear in them anymore. My father was a drill sergeant. One of his things he did, he was a drill sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. I wasn't afraid of my father. But my mother is from the mud bottoms of Shelby County, Tennessee. But my mother will tell you to go out and pick her a switch and return pronto. And that bet not be a twig that you come back in the house with. It better not be. I was afraid of my mom. I was afraid of my mom. Mom says the garbage need to go out. And before she ended that sentence, the bag was out of the trash can, and I was on my way out the door. No if, no and. My mom says, you need to get ready to go to bed so you can go to school, so you need to be in the bathtub. By the time she was done with her sentence, my rubber ducky was in the tub. I didn't fear my dad. My mom was like my grandma. I didn't fear my grandfather. But my grandmother if she told you that it was time to come in the house and all of the toys y'all had, the bikes and everything, needs to be put up and into the shed, you better will that bike to start moving by itself. Is how fast you better be getting those toys and those bikes. My grandma, we don't have that no more. These kids, nothing scares them because there's no consequences. There's no accountability for anything they do. They get points. And it blew my mind when they was explaining this to me, because I sat there and go, there's no way in hell you're going to make me believe what you just told me. I can go carjack, as a kid, I can go carjack a car. I go to my court date because I got caught, and they gave me points and send me back to the very place. It don't make sense. Today at the press conference, the lady says, and I heard this with my own ears, because I sat and I said under my breath, that's a damn lie. She says that these kids don't need to be locked up. That's a damn lie. I said that under my breath. It almost came out. Now, I'm not talking about locking these kids up in prison. I'm not talking about putting these kids in juvie and leaving them there forever till they turn 18, then you turn them over to the prison. That's not what I'm talking about doing. I've never talked about doing that, and everybody get upset at me when I say we need to open Totem Town. We need to open a place to where we can put these kids, because these kids need rehab. People always talk about trauma, right? You always hear that. PTSD. These Marines and Army people, they go to war and all this. The same thing that these people are going through somewhat is almost like the same thing these kids are going through. When they're walking down the street and all of a sudden, boom, 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 they hear gunfire. And now they have to run, or they got to lay down. When you hear that stuff every day, when you have to sleep on your basement floor or sleep on your living room floor because bullets are whizzing through your house, that's a type of trauma that you just don't get over. And we have kids that have that type of trauma. And we don't get them help. We have kids who go out and give trauma to other people, and we don't give them kids help. We got moms, lady today, says she got 6 kids. Now, I'm not getting on people for having a lot of kids. But if you can't control your kids and you don't have somebody in your home helping you control those kids, because how are you going to go to work? How are you going to work a 9 to 5? You leave your kids by yourself, and it's your kids who's running around causing all the problems. And you can't control them. And they're not afraid of you. They're not afraid of the police. They're not afraid of nothing. We need to get to the point to where, and I said this today, I was talking to the lady, after I was done, the lady with it, from the news was interviewing me. And she says, well, Rev, where would you start? And I said point blank, we have to get into the homes, because a lot of, and you know, the favorite saying, well, where's the father? We're not getting fathers back into these homes. It's not going to happen. It's not. We need to start thinking above this thing. If there's a father around, I would love to get that father communicating, dealing with, helping in the home. I would love to have that happen. Would love to have that happen. But it's not going to happen. So we need to rethink. We have to rethink. These single moms with 6, 7, 8, 9 kids. How do we get her help? What do we do here with her? I said it today. All this money that's going into the community that's not touching the ground. That's what pissed a lot of people off, because I pointed out the money today. That's what really pissed a lot of these clergy and pastors off, because I called them out and say, it's time for you to start doing your job instead of getting this check that Governor Walz give you to keep your mouth shut. Money should not be important to you anymore. And the Democratic Party shouldn't hold it over your head. That's what they're doing. I know that for a fact because Democrats won't deal with me, because I won't take their money to sell out my own people. I will not take their money to sell out my own people. I would rather keep busting my ass, keep nickel and diming when I need something for somebody. That's what I do, right? I come on here, I nickel and dime. I could be getting a fat check. I easy get a fat check to do what I'm trying to do for the community. But I know I would have to sell the community out. I know I would have to sell people out. These pastors is getting this money. Don't give a damn about the community, because if they did, the community would not look the way that it does. If they did, the community wouldn't act the way that it did. If they did, the community wouldn't even smell the way that it smells. If these pastors of these churches getting this money from these Democrats gave a damn, they would be thinking about ways that we can move the community forward while working on some of the problems that we have with no fathers in the house. Because again, we're not going to get the fathers back into these homes. We can get some of them to start giving a damn, showing up, coming by, checking on them, doing homework with them, but they're not moving back into the house. It's just not going to happen. That's just like if I was to go over there to Llano Lakes. To the trailer park that's over there off 35. Y'all didn't think I knew about this, did you? I know. Trust me. That's why I keep telling y'all. Y'all don't realize what I do. There's a trailer park. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you go down 10, right? That trailer park that's right over there in the corner. There's a bunch of, and the reason I know this is because my wife and I made deliveries over there. There's a bunch of white single mothers in that trailer park. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Funny how we don't talk about that trailer park. So if we can get black fathers back into the homes, then we should be able to get white fathers back over into that trailer park, correct? Y'all know it's not going to happen. You know, there's no way I'm going to get those white fathers to go back over there for the kid. Now, they show up. Some of them come. But they're not physically moving. Listen, they're not physically moving into the home with those white women and the white kids. They're not doing it. So what makes you think that a black man is going to move back into the house with his black woman and his black kid? What makes you think if he won't do it, what makes you think he's going to do it? Anytime when people say that, well, is there a black man in the house? Or where's the father? You know, there's no black fathers around. Really? What about the white fathers? There's just as many white fathers that I know that are not in homes. If you go on the outside of Champlain, like you go into Rogers, y'all know what I'm talking about. Right off 81. You know that trailer park that's back there? I've delivered there also. So if the white dads won't go back to that trailer park and be part of the white woman's life and the white kids' lives, what makes you think that a black man is going to go to an apartment building with his black woman? I make me understand that. Anytime someone says something about a black father, make me understand why the white man is not doing what the black father is in. But it's okay for him, but it's not okay. And a lot of the kids who are in these trailer parks, you know that meth problem that y'all have in your community? I'm just saying. So don't put that on my page anymore, and don't say that towards me, because I'm going to ask you that very question. So we need to start thinking about what do we do? How do we do this? How do we make a difference in these kids' lives, again, who don't have a father, or father only comes around every once in a while, or father just don't come around at all? How do we deal with these kids who are having mental problems, who having PTSD, who having problems in school? These are the kids that I'm saying that if we had a place for them, you want to know how the numbers come down? Is we get these kids the help that they need. And again, as I said before, we stop people from coming into the neighborhood buying these hard drugs, because these hard drugs that these kids are selling and these hard drugs that these people are coming into the neighborhood to buy, y'all know what I'm talking about, are the very dollars that these kids are using to buy these guns. So if those 2A people, 2A boys, the ones who fight to make sure that your cold, dead hands have steel in your hand, I suggest you start speaking up. I suggest you start saying something. Yeah. Because I haven't heard anything from you. I haven't heard anything from the very people who swear up and down that cold, dead steel, that's cold steel in their hands. Haven't heard you say one word. But the minute someone says, you know what we need to do to stop this? Oh, you're ready to jump off of the tallest building. But you can't say nothing. When that cold, dead thing in your steel in your hand is being sold in a community and you know it. Whether it's being sold in the community by straw purchase or if it's being stolen out of cars, then maybe we need to figure out a way to make sure that they're not being stolen out of cars. If your gun gets stolen out of your car, well, maybe we should do something. Maybe there should be a law. How's that? See, we don't want to start talking about laws. And I don't want to keep talking about black kids being shot and killed by guns that came into the community either. So right now, what the plan is we're going to have a few of these press conferences all over the community at these parks. That's what we're putting together. That's what we're doing this summer. We're going to keep the stove hot, and we're going to keep talking about certain things, and we're going to keep mentioning certain things, and we're going to invite those lawmakers, those officials who are, we're going to invite them to these town halls that we're having, because they have to answer to why they are not doing their job. They have to answer. And if they don't have an answer, it's time to start kicking people out. It's like I told them today, you have to start voting different. I know they didn't like that. I know that. That's why, like I said, my phone has been going off for the past 25 minutes. My phone has been going off. But that's the plan, because we can't go through this summer with dead kids. We just can't do it. I refuse. I refuse. No matter what I got to do now, I'm not going through this summer with dead kids. It's just not going to happen. If I got to call out every Democrat and every Republican, if I got to call them out, period, point blank, I'm going to start naming. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to start naming. Period, point blank. So anyway, hey, real quick, and then I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get out of here because I think it's funny. It's just hilarious to me. So in 2020, right? Excuse me. And I did not bring any water down here, did I? No. Did not bring any water down here. I just ran down. 2020. Again, I've told this story before. 2020, I get invited. Somebody call me up and say, hey, Rev, this female is coming to town, and we would like for you to be our guest, to come see her. And I'm like, okay. Sounds like a deal. Didn't know who it was at first. The person calls me back and says, well, too short. We have a table, Rev, for you. So now it went from me and my wife going to, and I got the picture. I'll post the picture and show you the table. They called me back and say, hey, Rev, we got a table for you. Do you want to invite some more people? I was like, really? Cool. Then I said, well, who is the person? And they said, well, Candace Owens is coming to town. And I go, what? You kidding me? Okay. I'm now I'm hyped. Hold on. I'm not hyped for the reason some of you would be hyped. That's not why I was hyped. I was hyped because I got an opportunity to see her face to face and say what I wanted to say to her face to face. That's why I was hyped. So we go to this big ballroom downtown. I guarantee you it hold probably about 2,000 people. I'm not kidding. I should have took a picture of the whole room so you can see what I'm talking about. We get to this place, and it had to be, oh, man, a good, I would say 1,000 people there. This place was packed to the gill. And it was a dinner. We had dinner, we had everything, right? And I'm walking around, I'm checking everybody out. And I'm counting the people. And I'm guarantee you it had to be not counting the wait staff, which the wait staff was basically black. There had to be probably about 4 black people, including myself. That was it. Rest of the room, white people. And I knew it was going to be packed because early in Candace Owens' career, her whole thing was stomping on and pissing and shitting on black people. That's what she did, and y'all know it. You can say what you want. And the reason I wanted to see her, because I wanted to invite her, which I did, to North Minneapolis, and I said, I need you to walk around with me and shake the people's hand who you talk about. This is what I said to her. I even put the picture on my timeline of me handing her my card and saying, my name is Reverend Tim Christopher. I said, I'm here to represent the black community, the very community that you shit on, that I need you to come walk around that community and help me with your influence to raise it up or raise money to do whatever I'm trying to do with the community. But I need you to come walk around and shake those people's hands that you talk about, that you put down, that you step on. This is what I said to her, point blank. I said, here's my card. Please call me. She handed my card to one of her people and said, we'll give you a call. She goes, I don't know when I'm going to be back, but the next time I'm in town, I will make sure I call you and we'll have a conversation. I said, thank you. I've never heard from that woman ever again, and she went on to keep doing what she was doing. And that was basically stepping and shitting and pissing on black people. And y'all know that. And that's why y'all was in love with this girl. As long as she was doing that, entertaining you. Because I sat in a room with all of the white people and listened to this woman say the things she said, and they looked at this woman like she was Santa Claus. Like they were little kids and she was Santa. And the things she said that night on that stage about black people, I'm sitting here going, and y'all just got glee on. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't be able to tell you this, but I saw it with my own eyes. I watched them sit there as if she was the second god of coming. All because the things she said about black people. And y'all know I'm right. This is why it's funny how, and that's why I dropped that picture with me and her. And I said what I said. Because I knew there was not going to be any comments on it. That's why I reposted what Sonny Johnson said. Because I knew there wasn't going to be any comments. That's why I reposted what Jeff had said about Candace Owens and what a few other people said. Because I knew there was not going to be any comments. I knew that. I knew that. See, a lot of times, I keep telling people this. A lot of times, I don't post for you to comment on. I really don't. I post it so you can think about it. But it's always funny how people will comment on certain things on my page. And there's certain things they just won't comment on. Correct? Just like the Candace Owens thing. Y'all stayed so far away from that. Ain't nobody said anything. Because you know I'm right in what I was saying. You know I'm right. Y'all know as long as Candace Owens pissed and shitted on black people, you was in love with her. She was the best thing. Y'all ain't never heard. And the reason I know this is some of y'all is as old as me and know Larry Elders. Larry Elders was the Candace Owens of my time. Larry Elders was, if Larry Elders had social media, he would have been as big as Candace Owens. The Terrell 2.0. Y'all love him because he shit and piss on black people. What's that cop name? What's that stupid cop name? Tatum. Y'all love Tatum for that very reason. And you act like you don't. You try to act like, look, I see you. I see you. I see some of the people, the very people who follow me. I go over to Brandon Tatum's and I see your post. Brandon Tatum is a joke. But he's to you as a god because of what he do and he says about black people. Just like those Hodges twins. I love them Hodges twins for the same reason. Prove me wrong. No, seriously, prove me wrong. Because you know I'm right. That's what people get pissed at me. I'm mad at him. But damn it, he's right. We don't like Candace Owens anymore because she started talking about Jewish people. We don't like Candace Owens anymore because she started putting down certain white people that we like. But I guarantee you, if Candace Owens start talking about black people again, if Candace Owens start talking about black people, y'all would go. Everybody who sit there and come out, well, I blocked Candace because something's wrong with her. Or I blocked Candace, she's going crazy. Or I'm blocked Candace because she don't understand what she's talking about. Or I blocked Candace. Everybody who said that, the minute that woman, I'm shocked she's not on Carmelo Anthony, that kid that stabbed the white kid. If she goes and starts talking about that situation, and she start telling y'all that Kamala Anthony should be electrocuted, hung, and then his body drugged through the streets, y'all would be back on her train as that fast. And you know it as well as I do. You would love her to death. It's no different than the way things have always been. We just happen to be your minstrel show. Right? I mean, it got to the point to where white people was putting on blackface to entertain the crowd. They needed it that bad. They needed us to look bad. They needed us to sound bad. They needed us to act bad. Y'all's ain't coming around here no more, boss. They needed that so bad that they start putting on blackface. Acting like black people. No, think about what I'm saying. You can get mad at me. That's cool. I'm good with that. But think about what I'm saying. And then people sit there and always, well, Rev's a race baiter. No, I'm not. If you ever notice when I talk about race is when you give me something to talk about. It's like when I go on Crime Watch. Whoa, wait a minute. Crime Watch. Ever since they've had that encryption, Crime Watch ain't the same anymore. I can actually go on there and read some of the stuff that Shelly has on her site. That encryption. Yeah. First, I was like, man, that's kind of bad. But now I see what it's done. I'm good with it. I'm good. But Candace Owens is giving y'all exactly what she gave us. And y'all don't like it. Y'all upset, you're mad, and you're pissed off. And now you want to cancel her for doing to someone else what she did to the black community. What she did right now is exactly what she did to the black community. And now y'all trying to sell her down the river. You feel exactly the way we felt. You feel exactly the way I felt when I stood in front of her, when I gave her my card, and I asked her to come and talk to the very people that she's shitting on. Now you know what I felt like. Your hero, your knight in shining armor, your side minstrel show. I warned y'all about her in 2020, 2020. I warned you about her 5 years ago when I first encountered her, when I first saw her first video. I wish I can go back and get some of my video from back then when I told you, 2021. But as long as she was shitting on black people, Candace was okay. She was everything and a bag of chips to you. But now Candace Owens she ain't all of that no more for you. Now y'all upset. You pissed. You want to cancel her. Yeah. It's always, that what they say. What was it? It's always it's never fun when a rabbit is. Is it never fun when a rabbit got the gun? Well, the gun's not pointed at us anymore. The gun's I don't know how many times, man. And the thing about it is, I read some of the statements people are saying about her now, and it is funny. And I just sit back and go, "Told you so." Had y'all listened to black folks 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, you wouldn't have the problem that you're having now. You wouldn't be upset and mad at her now. If y'all had just listened to it back then, when we was telling y'all, she didn't want to hear it because she was your show. She was your show. She was your main attraction. Now look at you. One in the canceler, one in the hate on her. But it's all good. Anyway, hey, fam, like I said, I wanted to jump back on here tonight. Like I said, baseball season is over except for All-Stars. So we got All-Stars. But I can get back into the routine. We can sit here and chop. Again, I always invite anybody who wants to come on and have a conversation with me. I have no problem in doing that. I love having conversations with people. So if you ever want to come on here, just say, "Hey, Rev, I got a few minutes at night. You mind if I come on and hang out with you and chop it up with you?" Even the dude that was stalking me, I invited him on, right? Because, most of the people who hides behind their little emoji loves to talk crap on the internet. They're computer warriors. So I always put it out to them and say, "Hey, any night of the week that you want to have a conversation with me, come on." Because, don't hide behind your little picture, right, and threaten people. That's to me, that's just being a coward. That's just being a coward. I would never do that. If I got something to say to you, I'm going to say it to your face. But that's why, and like I told people, I'll let you know why. That's why I took some time off of Twitter. Everybody was, like I said, hit me up. "Hey, Rev, I haven't seen you on Twitter. What's going on? Are you okay?" I was just fine. I just needed to get away from Twitter because, like I said, and I'll say it again, ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, Twitter has been probably the best thing that the devil felt he ever made. Satan runs Twitter. Period, point blank. Y'all know that as well as I do. I have never, before before Musk took over Twitter, I have never been threatened by anybody. After he has, I've been threatened by 2 people and stalked by a few people. And Musk will not do anything about it. He gives people free reign to terrorize people who just want to use this platform as a place just to go and talk to people, enjoy, go back and forth with people. But yet he decides that you can terrorize someone, you can threaten to come to people's houses, you can threaten to find out where their job is, you can threaten to show up where any place that they're going to be speaking, you can threaten them and tell them that they better have their head on a swivel, and they don't even know who you are. You can threaten people like that on this here app, and there's nothing you can do, and that's sad. That's sad. So I pulled myself off of Twitter for a while for that very reason, because I was being threatened. And anytime I get threatened, I will block people. Because if you're going to threaten me, there's no reason for you to be around me. But it's funny how that works. The very people that threatens you, the the very people that stalks you, and you block them, and then they go around the internet telling people that you blocked them because they disagreed with you. Or what this one guy did is everybody that I would talk to, he would go and follow them. So when I was speaking to them, then he could come on and threaten them or threaten me through their app, their page. It was weird. And I knew right then and there I had to report this guy, and nothing happened to him. I reported him, and nothing happened to him. But anyway, that's my story, fam, and I'm going to stick with it. But it's time for me to get out of here. Y'all have a good day. I appreciate you guys hanging out in the whole nine. Oh, 1 second, because I have to answer this lady real quick. And it's always funny to me, again, when people say things and I invite them to stuff, and then they find a way not to want to. Because I had put this here up here today, and she said, where's she at? Oh, right here. Oh, that's not her. So I got to answer her real quick. Her name's Mary. Let me answer Mary real quick before we get off of here. So Mary said, oh, no, MN Veteran. So her name was MN Veteran. So I had posted the rally today about the boy who got shot. And I was upset because only about 30 people showed up at this rally. And most of the people that showed up was white. And so I posted that, and then Mary said, I never heard about any rally. Right? This is what she said. Never heard about any rally. Maybe that's the problem. Well, I posted the rally a day ago. Telling people about the rally. So, and then she says, and why only black people? Because it happened in the black community. And maybe because they were worried that there would be a drive-by shooting at the rally. Just making sure y'all are sitting there going, Rev's making that up. Anyway. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You have people that, and then, so she says to me, well, I won't. She said, I stay as far away from Minneapolis as I can. But she's the very person who says, never heard about any rally, like she was going to come to the rally. Some people just like to, see, this is what I'm saying. Some people are not serious. Some people just like to talk just to talk. Right? She said that. She said she never heard of a rally, but yet when I invite her, I said, I will make sure I post the next one on her page. She says, well, I won't. But yet she started this off talking about this people. This is what I'm saying. This is why I can't take people serious on the internet. This is the reason. But yet, when I block people because I can't take them serious, they get all upset. Anyway, fam, let's end the night like we always end the night, realizing and recognizing that we serve a God that is really good all the time, every single time. It's us who find a way to mess things up when it comes to him. It's us who goes the wrong way when it comes to him. It's us who sees things the wrong way when it comes to him. It's us who speaks the wrong way when it comes to him. It's us who hears. But yet and still, when your heart is broken, your spirit is down, and your mind is just out of whack, we got a God that will regulate your mind, will mend your heart, and uplift your spirit. And we got to thank him for that each and every day. And we also have to make sure that we understand that God said he will never leave us. He will never forsake us. And for that, and in that alone, we all should have smiles on our face. And you know what we do with those smiles? We go out and we smile at somebody, so somebody smile back at you. Hey, fam, y'all have a good night. We'll talk to you on Friday. We'll see you back here on Friday. I'm out. Peace.